do you have any measurable facts that show fewer drugs, less drugs, however you would put that, are getting into the U.S.? Is this something that we're measuring in some way?
I'm happy to take that, Ranking Member.
Sure.
So as I mentioned on those 4 lanes of the drug flows, the way that we're looking at policy within the Pentagon is movements of vessels and then degrading the capability of the organizations. It's not so much focused on the commodities, whether it's drugs, it could be weapons.
Sure, I get that, but ultimately, and I understand that, you're trying to do the plot, but have you measured, I mean, the ultimate impact, I mean, you can guess at how well they're doing in that 4-lane highway. I guess you can look and see how many, cars, boats, whatever are on it. But ultimately, the measurement of how many drugs are getting into the U.S. Do we have any measurement on that particular piece of it?
What we've measured, Ranking Member, is the decrease in the movements of the vessels. So there's been a 20% decrease in the Eastern Caribbean on the movement of those vessels.
But that's a no in terms of the drugs actually getting into the U.S. I mean, and then look, I don't disagree necessarily with the effort to stop this. I think figuring out whether or not this is working, bottom line is, are drugs getting into the U.S. or aren't they?
Well, we went 45 days, Ranking Member, without having a vessel move through the Eastern Caribbean. I think when you don't have any movement, there's likely not going to be any type of drugs or any other commodities.
Sure, unless there's 4, like you just said, there's 4 lanes on that highway. So not necessarily is my point. I mean, the true measure of this would be, okay, which 4 lanes. The true measure is how many drugs are getting into the U.S. So I think we need to, and you obviously, work with domestic agencies that have more oversight on that than you do. That's the measure of whether or not you're hitting that 4-lane highway in the right way, isn't it?
Correct, but it's also the measurement of how many drug overdose deaths we have inside the United States, and that obviously goes beyond to the interagency. But we have seen record drops.
That's an answer. Now, it's not necessarily a controlling answer because there's a lot of different things that can contribute to overdose deaths, but that's what we're sort of looking for. And if you're really going to measure this, that's where you need to focus. And